I'd like to talk about when God doesn't give you what you think you need. So, I live out in the country, and one day, 3 years ago, I was driving down Old Country Road, no houses by, and there was a little white puppy, well, dog, that was running back and forth on the road, scared to death. So, I picked her up and I took her home, and I started the journey of trying to find out who she belonged to. But I had to keep her overnight, and that night she slept at the foot of my bed, on my bed. And the next morning I woke up and I thought, I slept really good. That's Schultz there. And I got to thinking about why I felt so good and why I had such a nice sleep was because I knew that dog was there, and I knew she would alert me if anything was coming at me. So I was actually able to relax and actually sleep. So thankfully I found her owner the next day, and there he goes again. And it was a crazy, cute, kooky story, and I'm thankful for it. But I got to thinking that I like sleeping like that. That's nice sleeping like that. So I start looking around. Maybe I wouldn't need a dog. And I found this ad for there was 2 puppies at the local dog pound that I refer to as the big house now. But so I call and I set up an appointment to go see these puppies, and I get there, and they put me in this room, and they bring the first puppy in. It's a German Shepherd Husky mix, and I squat down, on my haunches, and this puppy just takes off running towards me and just hides underneath me, shivering cold and making this weird noise like he was saying, "I'm too sensitive for this big house. Take me home now." So I thought, awesome, this is awesome. So I adopt him, and we get through the thing, and I get him home, and almost instantly I realize that this German Shepherd Husky mix that was supposed to be my protector was expecting me to accept him as a freeloading roommate. And the relationship a person and a dog has was not there for Schultz and I. And another thing is he's 85 pounds, and he looks absolutely terrifying, and he could probably overpower me if he wanted. He's the biggest coward you'd ever want to meet. But I'm sure I'm going to share many stories about me and my roommate. But it's a perfect example of what God gives you, something that you think you want, that you need, but it's not. I did not know this at the time, but Huskies have a reputation of talking and howling. I could probably tell you I've heard Schultz maybe bark maybe a handful of times in his whole life, but he talks every day, sometimes continuously. And when I got him as a puppy, at the time I was living by myself, and I was going through a lot of stuff, and he got me talking back to him when he would start that howl, and I would talk to him normally, but I was able to tell him all the crap that I was carrying in me that I don't want to unload on anybody else. And then on top of that, Schultz as a puppy had a huge energy problem. I had to run that dog a lot when he was a puppy, or else he would just be uncontrollable and tear everything up. So what that did was we would go for walks and talk to God. And it forced me to, when I'm walking this dog, there's nothing else I can be doing. I mean, we're walking a brisk walk for probably good 30, 45 minutes at the time. So I started to use that time to talk to God. And as if God was walking right beside us and I'm talking to him. And I needed that. I needed to be able to establish a relationship with God that didn't make me look completely insane. Well, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to my dog. I don't know. So, one time, recently actually, this is when my realization came into my head was, Schultz needed to get his nails done, and so I set up an appointment with the vet. And the problem is that the day that we had our appointment was cat day. So we walked into the waiting room of the vets, and there was six or seven men, grown men, with crates of their cats. And the problem was these cats were making some really horrible growling noises, and then none of them were happy. And as soon as Schultz saw all these cats, he completely freaked out and stressed out to the point where he somehow managed to move all the benches and the chairs from a corner of the room out so he could position himself in that corner, and he had me in front of him, guarding him, because I'm his protector. And all these men are looking at me, and I said, believe it or not, I got him from Youngstown Dog Pound for my protection. A couple of them openly laughed at me. So, got through the stress of getting this 85-pound husky / German Shepherd to get his nails done. I get him through this situation, and we get in the car and we're driving home, and that was my thought was, Schultz is a perfect example of God giving you what you need, not what you think you need. Because these last 3 years, God has been telling me, why do you need a protector? Why do you need a protector? Why do you need this dog to protect you? I'm protecting you. And time again, these last 3 years since I've had this dog, God has shown me over and over and over again, he's really the only protector I need. And it was shortly after I got Schultz, and I came to the conclusion that I just gave myself something that I needed, but for the totally different, But I started asking God to give me peaceful sleep. That was nice. That felt good. All right, if I don't need the dog to make me have peaceful sleep, but I like it, give it to me. Could you, please? And it was, I don't know how long it took, how many times I had to, ask, and how many times I had to allow, but 8 hours sleep for a very, very long time. And that was crazy wonderful, because God didn't lead me to Schultz so he could protect me. God led me to Schultz so I would have somebody to talk to. And God led me to Schultz so I would start those walks with God. Because without Schultz, none of that would have happened. And the walks with God were what I needed, and what I still do. I still do the walks with God to connect me to him. So, yeah. Have a great day.